So feet underneath the hips. We're just going to start with some little shoulder rolls coming up, back and down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together on the way back down and feel as though you are sliding the shoulder blades into your back pockets. Just a little bit of softness through the knees and roll as tall as you can through your spine. Then just let your arms hang down by your side and just side bend from one side across to the other. So as you're doing this, having a little bit of softness in your knees, still legs are not locked, and just reaching the fingertips down towards the knees. Let's look at us all synchronized and everything. Look at that. Just a couple more. Fabulous. And then take the feet just a little bit wider, take the hands across the chest, and do a little bit of rotation from the right to the left. Just letting the heels lift and the hips turn. Looking from one side of the room to the other. Just warming up the spine a little. And then just add a little reach across. Little exhale on the reach. And focus on lengthening through your spine. Being really upright through the upper body. Good stuff. And rest. Bring your feet in just underneath the hips again. Leslie's going to do this one front on for you. I'm going to do it from the side. Chin down towards your chest. And then just slowly roll down. Let your arms hang heavy. One bone at a time. Bend forward all the way down towards the floor. Just to a point that feels good for you. Where you're getting that stretch through the backs of the legs and through the lower back. Keep the chin tucked in. And then roll yourself up to the top. So just getting some warmth through the spine, increasing the blood flow. Head comes up last, shoulders relax, and let's go again. Chin down. Let's see if we'll get used to having a glamorous assistant. Yeah. It's very good for different demos. Come to the bottom, take a big breath in. Breathe out, roll yourself up. Feel as though you're rebuilding your spine. Head comes up last. Just work through it at your pace. Roll the shoulders back and down. And we'll go one more time. Chin tucked down. Slowly, slowly rolling forward. Just hang there for a second when you get to the bottom. Take a breath in. And breathe out. Roll yourself up. Head comes up last. Roll the shoulders up, back and down. Just take your hands to your hips and make some big circles with the hips. Keep going in the same direction. And then switch, go in the opposite direction now. Smashing, and then hands across the chest, just into a little half squat, and then all the way to the top. Pushing the hips back, standing up and squeezing the glutes, and hopefully by now, the body feels a little warmer and ready for a nice, good stretch. Are you ready for a good stretch, Leslie?
I am. Well, I'm already warm.
Yeah, you will be. And relax. Come and have a lie down on the floor. Do you want to go ahead that end? Let's see feet that end. Okay. Lying down on the floor, we're going to start with a nice hamstring stretch. So taking one leg, and it's up to you which one you want to do first. Straight up into the air. I want you to really focus on pushing your bum down into the floor and getting as much length through that leg as you possibly can. Just use your hands to gently guide it in to a point where you feel a sensation of stretch through the back of the thigh. And just hold that there. Now while it's in that position, let's just do some little circles at the ankle. Keep going in the same direction for now. And then switch, go in the opposite direction. And then bring your foot back to the middle and alternate between point and a flex, a point and a flex. And then take a breath in as you relax the ankle. Breathe out. Can you straighten the leg a little bit more if it's not already straight, or can you guide it a little bit closer in towards your chest? Just bearing in mind it'd be far better to have a straight leg that's not as far in than a bent leg that's all the way in, because we just need to get that length through the hamstring. Take that top foot to the opposite knee. Loop the hands around the thigh of the other leg and just bring the legs in towards the chest. If it feels good for you, you can bring your head and shoulders above the floor, tuck the chin in, look through the space between the knees. Take a big breath in. Breathe out, just guide that leg in a little bit further. And then the leg that you chose to take in the air at the start, the one that's going to be bent with the knee pointing out to the side, just take the same hand to the inside of that knee and just gently press the knee away to open up that hip a little bit more. And relax, bring everything back down to the floor, including your head. And then let's go to the other leg. Let's find that nice long hamstring stretch first. Stretch out that leg, really push the glute, the bum muscles down into the floor. Create that nice length of the leg. And then when you're ready, let's draw some little circles with the big toes on the ceiling. Keep going in the same direction. And then switch, go in the opposite direction. Then settle the foot in the middle and we'll go between pointing the toes and flexing the foot. So really pushing the toes towards the ceiling and then drawing the toes down towards the chest. Still think of that length of the hamstring. Then relax the foot in the middle, take a breath in. As you breathe out, can you lengthen the leg a little bit more? If it's already straight, can you guide it into your chest just a little bit further? Still thinking of pushing that glute down towards the floor. Now taking that top foot to the opposite knee, opening up the hips, reaching through to stretch the glutes. So it's up to you at this point whether you want to bring your head and shoulders up off the floor or you want to keep your head relaxed down. Then just take the hand to the inside of the knee, open up the hip, increase that stretch just a little bit. So we're pulling in with one hand and we're gently pressing away with the other. And relax. This time, bring both knees into your chest, curl up into a little ball, nice and tight, and just take a little rock from side to side. And then I'd like you to just place your right hand on your right knee, your left hand on your left knee. Relax the head on the floor and just make some big circles at the hips. So we're guiding the legs around with the hands, letting the knees drop out of the side, and then bringing them around and into the middle again. And then switch directions, so this time guiding into the chest, knees rocking apart, and then scooping them into the middle again. And relax. From here, just place the feet on the floor again. Bring the knees and the feet together so they're touching, and just allow your knees to drop over to one side, and then take your arms across to the other side. So shoulders are staying in contact with the floor, just some rotation through your waist, and just focus on taking big breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. There's a leg that's stacked on top here. Just stretch that out. So the bottom leg is bent, the top leg is straight. And once that leg is straight, then go back to that point and flex action that we had when the leg was in the air. So flexing the foot, pulling the toes up towards the knee, and then pointing the toes away from the body. Relax the ankle, bring that leg back to where it was, bring the legs back to the middle, and then let's go in the opposite direction. So drop the knees across to the other side. Arms go in the opposite direction, but we keep the shoulders on the floor. And to start with, just focus on that long breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Just relax into that stretch. And then extend the top leg. And go into that point and flex. So toes pull up towards the shins and the knee, and then push away from the body. And just a few repetitions there. Then relax the ankle, scoop the leg back into where it started, bring the feet to the middle, and then however feels most comfortable for you, just bring yourself up into a seated position. And we're going to bring the soles of the feet together next. And just gently let the knees drop out towards the side. Now, With your elbows, you can just ease the knees down a little bit as far as you feel like you can. Try and stay tall through with the body, but you might need to just lean into it a little bit if you're using your elbows to guide your knees closer to the floor. Once you're in that position, just hold it there. Take a big breath in, and as you breathe out, just ease the knees down a little bit further if you can. Really opening up through the hips. Is this mine?
Yes.
And then extend the legs out in front. We'll cross one leg over the other. Give it a hug. And then look over the shoulder to increase that stretch. Try and sit as tall as possible. And you can use this spare hand just for a little bit of support to help you lengthen up through your spine. Relax, come back to the middle, and then switch to the other side. Give that leg a hug, rotate over the leg, and sit really tall. If that hand is spare, you can go to the floor just for a little bit of a lift. And relax. Okay, we're going to go for pigeon next. We might want to share mats for this one as it's going to face this way. So let's start by taking your left leg in front and we'll move it left. So we want to try and have a 90-degree bend in the front leg. Take the hands in front and then just scoot that knee under so we really square off the hips. This is doing a beautiful front demo. I'm going to give you a side demo as well so you can see what's happening with the back leg. So the back leg is long, we're gently pressing the hips forward and trying to maintain that 90-degree bend or as close as possible with the front leg. And then keeping the body square at the front leg, just start to lean forward as far as feels comfortable for you. So leaning forward over the front leg, the hip stays pointing down towards the floor. Use your hands and arms for support. And depending on how flexible you're feeling on this lovely sunny day, see how far you can get down towards that leg. And then just take a little sit up. And then we're going to switch and do the other side. So find that 90-degree bend at the front leg. Then scoot the other leg back, directly back behind your body. Use your hands and arms wherever you feel like you need to. You might need to do a couple of adjustments with this front leg just to make sure you're finding that 90-degree bend. Stretch the back leg out as far as you can. Square the body off to the front leg and then lean in. And depending on how flexible you're feeling today, see how close you can come to the floor. Smash it. Then relax, sit yourself back up. Ooh, I feel like I've got new legs already. Right, taking the legs out in front. Sit really tall. Imagine someone's pulling up on your head. You're the tallest you can be here. Take your hands by your thighs. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Reach forward. And then scoot back down. Down by the side of the thigh, down by the side of the calf. And every time you do this one, just seeing if you can take your fingertips a little bit closer to your feet. If you can touch your ankles, then can you touch the top of your shoes if you've got them on? Can you touch your socks? Can you touch your toes? Now do the same thing but in reverse. So this time, reach for the feet first, then slide your hands up your thighs. But almost like you've rowing a boat this time. Smash in and relax. And then for the next one, I'd like you to just sit with your feet as wide apart as you can. And if I sit like this, it always makes us feel I'm going to go teddy bear or gymnastics. Sit really tall, hands just out in front of you. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, just lean forward a little bit. So not maximal stretch, not as far as you can go, just a little way. And then check in with what's happening on your legs. So think about creating a stretch through the back of the thighs. You can do that by easing the backs of the knees. down towards the floor. Once you set in that position with the legs as flat to the floor as possible, then see if you can go just a little bit further, and a little bit further, and a little bit further, and just find that point where you are thinking, right, okay, I really feel that sensation of stretch through the backs of my legs. You might feel it a little into your lower back as well. And then just very slowly walk the hands across to one side, so the body turns with the hands as well. Take a breath in, breathe out, and you slide a little bit closer to the foot. Good. And then just gently walk the hands around to the other side, take the body with it. Find that stretch. And then leaning forward a little bit more if you can. And then slowly sit yourself up. Come back to the middle. Bring the feet together. And then bend the knees. And just give your knees a little hug. And then take your hands just by your bum. Feet hip distance apart. And then drop your knees across to one side. And then switch to the other. So really nice exercise for mobilizing the hips. And it's up to you. You can have hands on the floor, or you can take your hands off the floor as you shift from one side to the other, whichever one feels best for you. Last one. And relax from there. We're going to come in an all fours position. So hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Set yourself in that position to start with, and then all we're going to do is alternate between two extremes of arching your back. So we've got a big arch where the middle of the spine presses up towards the ceiling, and then do the exact opposite way you feel, so you press your belly button down towards the floor. And just alternating between those two positions. This one's cat, and this one's cow. And again, one cat, and one cow. One more time for luck. And then from there, we're going to go into a nice calf stretch. Sliding one leg back, press the heel down into the ground as if you're in the starting blocks of a running race. Ease that down. And then switch to the other side. Slowly and gently pressing the heel further and further towards the floor. And then bend the knees, bring the knees under the hips. Just gently push your hips back so your bum comes closer towards your heels. Go as far back as you can, and then start to work the hands forward as far as feels good for you. So you might be here, you might be there, you might be fully extended out in front in a child's pose position. And just hold there. And then just come to a kneeling position. Take your hands into your lower back. Just open up your chest as far as feels good for you. Lovely. And relax. And then just tuck your toes under. Bring yourself up to standing, and we're just going to do a little tester to see how much more flexible and mobile you feel now versus about 25 minutes ago. So feet underneath the hips, just like we did at the start. Soften the knees, relax the arms, drop your chin down towards your chest. Crown of the head is going to point down towards the floor, just like we did when we were warming up at the start. Let the arms hang heavy. Come down as far as feels good for you. Just let the arms hang and relax. And then slowly uncurl. So we'll call that your practice. And then next time, I'd just like you to really check in with how the hamstrings feel, how the lower back feels. Take a breath in. Breathe out, drop the chin. Bend forward slowly. Just let the arms hang. This time when you get to the bottom, Just rotate the upper body a little bit as you come around to one foot. Come back to centre, and then do the same to the other side. Increasing the stretch in one leg and then the other. Come back in the middle, and then rebuild your spine. Chin stays tucked in. Come to the top. And then from here, again, just checking in with how mobile you feel now versus at the start of the session. Can you get your fingertips a little bit closer to your knees? You're going to a side bend. The knees soft. Smashing. And then let's just revisit those shoulder rolls. Nice big circles up towards the shoulder, up towards the ears, and then slide your shoulder blades down your back. And then finally, just take your hands to your rib cage, lace your fingers in front, relax the shoulders down. Just close your eyes for a second, take a big breath in through your nose, fill your lungs, let your rib cage expand, your fingers pull apart, and then exhale, let the fingertips come back together. And again, inhale, expand. Exhale, contract, bring the fingertips back together. One more time. Really focusing on the expansion of the rib cage. Back to the center. One more for good luck. Fill the lungs, breathe in. And breathe out. Opening the eyes. Relaxing the arms. So I hope you feel a little bit longer, more mobile, a little more flexible than you did about 25 minutes ago. I hope you enjoyed it and enjoy the rest of your day.